Welcome everyone to the show. It's Monday night. What's up? What's up? You know the vibes. I'm your host Don Vic. We here live today. We got a great show for you today. We do have actor Cody Cowell coming to the show. He is an actor. We'll be talking about his present um, films and past films once comes here onto my panel. Oh boy, yesterday was a good day. Yesterday we had a great conversation. Oh boy, it was about an hour and some something long, but we had fun yesterday. It was important to talk about the things that we spoke about. I'm pretty sure some people got inspired and learned something from the conversation we had last night. And I want to thank everybody that tuned in and gave their opinion. Because your opinion is also important. And I always like to know what your opinion is on certain things that we talk about. Uh, so I'm excited. This is the countdown. Today is December 2nd. Um, there's 11 days before the red carpet for Desert Fiend. So I am excited. I believe that the movie will actually come out on January 1st, somewhere around there, 2nd, sometime in January. So I'm excited, folks. I'm excited. For the cast and crew, Sean C. Phillips and Nicole, the producer, for putting this film together. It's a horror and comedy film, which was my first time ever being in a horror and comedy film, so it's gonna be great to watch myself on TV and among the other actors, and see how great of work we did in this film. Also, Alien Horde with the Mahal brothers is also up there. I think I shared it. Has a great trailer, a teaser. It's very very nice and interesting to watch. I can't wait to see the whole film. Also, the Desert Fiends 2 is going to be also in the works. I'm excited to find out who's going to be in Desert Fiends 2. I'm gonna try to get into that film. I'm gonna try to get in there as well. Okay, just because I love working with Sean, Sean C. Phillips and Nicole. I think they do a great team together. Alongside the cast and the crew and the actors that were in this film. I think that it's going to be some new actors in Desert Fiends too, and maybe some of the old ones as well. But we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen. What up, IG? Thank you for tuning in, my man. 50 G's. So yeah, I am excited. To see the film. It's been a long time. It's been almost like a year, 2 years before it came out. Before it come out, so yeah, I'm excited. Um, like I said, the films take a long time to come out when you're doing them the right way. Um, but I hope you guys enjoy it when it does come out. I will post it when it does come out. It's going to be on a lot of platforms. It's been distributed through a lot of platforms, so you will be able to see it online or whatever channels you guys watch your TVs. I mean your movies on. So I'm excited for that. You know what I mean? Him. Uh, so also big shout out to June Dagiso out from Virginia. He has a couple films out that I played in, Saving Anna and The Return of Jay Brooks, and now he's working on two other films. Um, so he did reach out to me to be a part of those two films, but I'm not sure if he's shooting them in Virginia or he's shooting them on the boat cruise. Now you guys know I don't like the water like that. Unless it's the showers, I ain't getting in or a pool. I ain't getting in the ocean water. Okay. Um, the ocean have shown me that it can betray you in a matter of seconds. So if I don't have to take a chance, I'm not going to take it. Okay. So I don't know, the possibility of me being in the film might be very slim. Okay. just because I'm not big with the ocean. Um, so let's see what happens. Also I want to shout out all the paranormal investigators around the world. That have a podcast, or you just an investigator and you're out there doing your thing. Big shout out to Keith Evans, great guy. Also, my brother Luciano, which is an author, great guy. Big shout out to Staten Island. Staten Island, what's the vibe? ¿Cómo estamos, mi gente? La italiana, what's up? You know what I mean? Big shout out to New York. The vibes, Beantown. Um, Connecticut, everything on the East Coast on my side is on 95. Shout out to y'all, and everybody else across country that watches the show. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate you guys. And remember, guys, you guys can always leave your comments here on the show. I'm excited because I spoke to my writer, and we kind of moving a little fast on my project, on my movie film. So I'm excited. She sent me some stuff. She sent me a couple of scenes that she wrote, so I got to go over them and just kind of okay it so we can move from there. I'm very excited, folks, to shoot my first movie, my first feature film. And it's a lot of work, folks. It's a lot of work when you're doing it correctly. When you're putting a lot of work behind it, all the paperwork, man, and the listen, it looks easy when you watch the movie, but the process behind it, it's much of a headache. Okay, and I'm learning these things as I go. You got to get a spreadsheet, the budget, the locations, the actors, the A-list actors, the money up. It's a whole lot of work, man, before you even start to film. You feel me? So I'm excited, and I got so many great actors that I'm looking at to participate in this film that I got going on with my partner, Denise. She's an amazing writer. So just stay in tune, because this is going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing to watch this film. Again, it's a mob film, which is mob and drama. So I'm pretty sure you guys are going to love it, because my writer's amazing. Also big shout out to my man Mike Ross, comedian out of Jersey, Big Mama Fat. I said fat ass. Big Mama Badass. If she was to hear this, she'd be calling my phone. But I ain't lying though. She's a big rump girl. Okay, so I wasn't lying. I love her to death. And I got Miss Lady Boston here too, another comedian. She's amazing too. You know what I'm saying? So it's big shout out to you guys. I see you guys putting in the work. I'll be trying to make things, man. I'm busy as hell writing, reading the script to try to make sure that this film comes out the way I want it to, plus some other projects that are coming my way. And there's just a lot of reading, and and then I got books that they sent to me that I got to read. I got this one. This is Eyes of a Survivor. This is based on a true story. And of course, all my books that I get sent to me, they signed them. I have this one. Give me one sec. Back. I have this one by my good friend, Queen G. May she rest in peace. This is an amazing book. This is about the industry. She's been in the industry for over 30 years, and she's been with the best of the best in the music industry. And she was a podcaster as well. So big shout out to her. Also, I have Hank Garrett, great actor, was born in New York, was out when the mob was out there, and he did his thing. And this is an amazing book. He also signed it for me. So, and then I have another book here by my brother Luciano, A Howling in Brooklyn. Just came out. He's now working to shoot a film. He also signed it for me. So all these books are all signed, amazing books. And, I read a little bit of each book when I'm bored. So if you want a copy, let me know. I can get you a copy of that. I do have my guest here, and Cody, your phone is upside down. Hold on, let me text him. Let him know that his phone's upside down. Give me a sec. Let me just text him because he's on my panel, but he is on the camera. He's facing the ceiling. Hold on a second. I don't want to bring him in like that. I'm not going to do that to my boy Cody. No, 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 no. Give me a sec. Yeah, so what's up, mama? Very proud of you, Miss Lady. I see you doing your thing, man, and that's great, amazing. I'm proud of my people. Putting in the work. She has an amazing comedy show that she puts out here in Boston. And I believe it's Lawrence. Oh Lord, I'm sorry. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. But she's amazing. What's up, Sue? Thank you so much for tuning in. My guest just popped out, but he'll be popping in a second again. Thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thank you for the love. I come a long way. You know that. From um uh so yeah, I'm talking to my guest. He says for some reason he's always upside down. I said, "What are you, a vampire?" He's always upside down. Scared me for a sec. Okay. I'm trying to tell you guys. Oh boy. What's up, Nando? What's going on, big dog? T-Bone, my brother, what's up? Thank you for logging in, man. That's my brother. Love him to death, man. Cody's actually he's actually texting me. So yeah, he's on his iPad. The iPad should be able to, if you're upside down, you should be able to switch it and it should turn around. You know what I mean? Nicole, my best friend is here. Awesome. Thank you so much for the support. Uh so yeah, I was just talking about Desert Fiends, Nicole, and I was talking about how proud I am with the cast and crew, producer and director, how great of a job you guys did with this film. And hopefully I can get to work with you guys again on Desert Fiends too. Okay. Um Hopefully. Okay, because I know how it be sometimes. But that's coming out. The red carpet is on the 13th, which is a Friday. Um Alien Horde is out. It's not out, but you can check out. I think it's the teaser or the trailer, if I'm not mistaken. It's out. I did put it out. Nicole is also in that film. Sean C. Phillip is in that film. Um, so many. So Zach is in that film. Velasquez. So many great people. Mrs. Chamberlain is in that film, Elizabeth Chambers, she's amazing. She's in that film. So many great people that worked with me on the last film, and now they're in this film, and they did a great job. So big shout out to the Mahal brothers. Okay, I think I'll work with them next time. Okay, I'm gonna work with them next time. Okay, so we do have Cody here. He's still upside down. Let's see. Fam, we'll keep it real. So where you? Thank you, man. I know. So Cody, you still? Let me just bring Cody and let him know he's still upside down. Hold on a second, guys. Wait, I don't want to bring him in like that. Hold on. Say, shut up. Be quiet. I'm trying to talk here. So yeah, and I want to big shout out to the YouTube watchers. You know, you guys can go on my Facebook. If you want to leave a comment, you can. I do not see your comments on my panel here. I just see the Facebook panel because that's where I am logging in from. So if you want to leave a comment, you're welcome to on my Facebook page. I see you there, but I just can't read what if you're doing anything. So let me see something. Let me just talk to yeah. He's having problems. He can't. So instead of him being the way I am, he's upside down. His body's up there and his head is down. So I don't want to bring him on the show like that. Thank you so much, Rogers. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. You know, and again, this show is for everybody. Everybody's welcome. If you got a story to tell, if you're a director, you're an actor, a comedian, there you go. we go. We finally got my brother Cody where he's supposed to be. Okay, I think what happened was the sun was out. You know, so when the sun is out, vampires usually hang from their feet from the ceiling. So I probably just the sun probably just got down and he came down. Okay, so we're gonna bring my brother Cody Cowell to the show. He is an actor, an amazing actor. Been doing 70 productions out of California, Manhattan Beach, California. Great guy. He is the smallest of the three brothers. Not no more. Not no more, but he was one of the he was the little runt of the boys, but I guess you know he was eating good. So please welcome the one and only actor, my brother Cody Cowell, to the show, folks.
Hi, everybody.
How you doing, Cody?
I'm good, Victor. How are you, man?
I'm fine, man. I'm fine. You know, you had me
I'm
laughing.
happy to be here.
I'm happy here. I am honored to have you here, and I want to thank Denise for making this connection.
Yes.
You know, she's
Yes.
been talking
Denise
very highly of
Pounds.
you.
Shout out. She's doing rehab on her knee right now, but she should be signing on pretty soon.
Yes. You know, she talks very highly of you, and she's been wanting me to bring you on the show. I said, well, you know, when he's ready, he'll let me know.
Yeah.
When he's ready, he'll let me know because I know you're busy. You know, you're very busy, and oh boy, we got a whole lot of people here today. You know, they're logging in.
Nice.
Yeah, even good friend of mine, producer Nicole Vegas. She's also on here. She's amazing.
Oh, hi, Nicole.
Yeah. So, Cody, tell me exactly where you're from. Was you born and raised in Manhattan Beach, California, or was you
I'm a
resonating
native.
somewhere else?
Native Manhattan Beach.
Okay. You okay? Where's the board? I don't see the board.
I know.
Oh wow, that's amazing. You know, I've been to Cali a couple of times,
Okay.
Cody. You know, for events. When I go out there on business, like events and stuff like you know, red carpets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I love it. It's the weather's great.
Yeah.
The people are very friendly.
Yeah.
Very friendly, according to where I'm from.
Yeah. definitely depending on where you're from, it's a lot of times when people come out, it's almost a culture shock because people will say hi to you and make eye contact to say hi and without even knowing you and socializing and talking to you and
Right.
not as much attitude depending on what you would expect from other places that sometimes happens. So sometimes people come out and they're so like, what are you looking at? Like, oh, just hi.
Yeah.
Just saying hi. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I
So it's
loved it.
funny.
Yeah, I loved it because the girls, I didn't even have to talk to them. They were talking to me.
Yeah, come right up, right?
Oh, over here, I gotta throw a brick just for them to look. Hey, I'm over here. Can you acknowledge me? So, man, that's amazing. And your parents and your families out there from California as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. My brothers, all here. So it's really, it's great. I'm really tight with my family and very, very tight with my friends. And it's a very, very tight community. I believe that where you live, you should thrive. And I love traveling. I've been, to a few places and I've enjoyed every place that I've gone to.
right,
And I always love coming back to the South Bay just because it just feels right and it's active and the people are fun. And like you said, the weather's very consistent. We've been, we get what we call Cali cold. So it's not as cold as most places, but for us, it chills down. But it's
right.
yeah, it's just a great place. But that's why it's fun to get away and be able to go to new places because it's just a different experience, a different lifestyle. People are different. It's fun to learn new ways and meet new people that you'd probably never meet before. So
Right.
whenever I get an opportunity to, it's great to be able to move around.
Yeah, that's why I love my show because I
Yeah.
don't have to. I don't have to travel. They just come on my show and I meet people
Right.
around.
Right.
That's the good thing about what we do. So, there's three brothers, and you were one of
Correct.
the youngest. You was the youngest or the smallest of the three.
I'm the baby, yeah, and I was the runt growing up. I was very so basically my
Yeah,
head was everybody was here. I was extreme like so my nickname one of my nicknames is Little Cody.
little
And most
Cody.
times big people get little because they're so big. I was little, like I was super small. And so yeah, thankfully my brothers were very cool and really supportive and extremely protective. Um and you learn a lot. I've had two different lifestyles because I was picked on and I was abused and
Right,
treated poorly and blah blah
right,
blah blah blah. And then all of a sudden, I start growing, I get bigger, and I now get to see the flip side of that coin to where people are intimidated of you without even saying a word, and no one wants to mess with you because of your size or how you talk, and you're so it I walk back and forth. I'm still little Cody,
yeah,
100%,
yeah,
but then sometimes I'm not. It just depends on the
right.
mood or where I'm at.
Other circumstances.
Correct. Yeah, but I'm also that's why I'm also extremely protective because I know what it's like to get picked on and abused and
Right.
get taken advantage of because you are
Your
the
side.
littlest person and people like reach out for you and so I have an extremely protective side.
That's awesome. That's great. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm the same way. I'm not as tall as you, but
Yeah.
I'm protective too.
Yeah.
And I used to, in school because I was always good with my hands. You
Got it.
know, I
Yeah.
was always really good with my hands, and I took a little bit of boxing when I was younger. So for that reason, because I used to get bullied too by the bigger guys,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
I wasn't no punk. I would
Right.
fight back, but I was always lose because I was the smallest. I was the runt
Yeah. Yeah.
until I started building you know, my record.
Right. Yeah.
I started
Right.
getting my hands, started
Yep.
getting my hands good, so
Yeah.
they kind of left me alone. So
Yeah. Well, that's what it takes. You have to. I still do a lot of my cross training is boxing and kickboxing, so I do
right,
that all the time.
that's amazing. So it's interesting. I was reading your bio and stuff, and you know, you started acting, and you didn't even take classes or nothing. Said
No.
you said your height, you said what you look like, and bam,
Correct.
you just started getting roles. That's amazing. You didn't even have to audition.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yes and no.
Okay.
I did submit a lot because when I started, yeah, I didn't have any pictures. I had no experience. What I call if people like they coin phrases and whatnot. if anybody was going to say what I am, I would say I'm a life actor. I use my life experiences. I'm able to draw from them. And a lot of the stuff that happened to me, even though I healed over it, I can also bring it back into characters and use it again and then let it go. And so what I did was I basically wrote a paragraph and I went on to Craigslist and I described what I looked like at the time. Because back then, I also, when I first started, I wasn't my size. I still was
Right.
growing.
Right.
And so it was like very late bloomer. And, uh, and I described what I felt my best traits were
Mhm.
and just started because I didn't know any better and I didn't have anything to take pictures with. I didn't have any connections. And I just found a place on Craigslist that said talent, which is still there.
Right.
And yeah, I don't even know how many I did, but eventually I got a response, and that was the first gig that I ever got, and I was
Right.
so I was shitting in my pants, man. I was so nervous. Yeah, I was just because it was in a public place.
Right.
The meeting that I had was a coffee shop up at the promenade,
Yeah.
and there's hundreds of people, and this character that eventually I played was just psycho. And I'm
Really.
just looking around going, God, if I have to do this, I'm gonna get arrested, you know. And thankfully I didn't have to. After the conversation, he asked me what I thought, and I said, "It's a beautiful role, man. I love it." And he said, "Congratulations, you're hired." And that was
Oh,
my first job I ever got, and I still have the disc from that first job to this day. So it's pretty cool.
that's great. And Cody, what I love about that is not just that you go there, you do your work, you know, but you build a family.
Yeah,
You got different families and different production teams, because sometimes you work with one production team and you might go work with another production team and in a
yeah,
different, and you start building these relationship with these
yeah,
people, and then
yeah.
work starts to come faster and
Correct.
faster than what you think.
Yeah, yeah,
um
yeah.
so it's a good thing, um to put yourself out there when these films, indie films or whatever film, SAG films are
Hmm.
coming out, is to, you know um put yourself out there, man,
Yeah,
and try to get. You see, for me, I can play a speaking role just like I can play an extra. It don't
right,
matter to me. You
right.
know, to me is the experience, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
and the people and the crew to get along and build from there, build the family, because I'm about the people. So,
yeah,
it's a great feeling. And then when you work with people like that and you on set, it brings the best out of you. It brings the best out of me.
yeah,
And you feel comfortable. You're not nervous. You're not worried about the director screaming at you. The producer like, "Hey, Cody, because sometimes people, when you do that to certain actors, you take them out of focus, and
right,
they when they go do their line, at first they were comfortable with it. Now they're a little shaky because they don't want to mess up and have the
right.
producer or the director say, "Hey, no,
Yeah,
just do it again." So,
right.
it's important. How important is it to you to work in that type of environment?
Yeah, I'm an athlete, so teamwork to me is essential.
Right,
But on the flip coin, I haven't gotten along with everybody I've worked with. So that's
right.
part of the job is that you don't vibe with everybody. So you try to use that to your advantage. And tenderly, I play pretty intense roles. So when I'm angry at people, some of the people I wanted to really fucking hurt because I was just like, "You are so lucky that I can't hit you right now because I'd love
Right.
to."
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
but the main thing too is you show up prepared. That's the big thing. If you show up prepared, there's a pretty strong chance that you're not going to feel the pressures from the director or the AD or whoever is going to be organizing it. Um, and prepare if you can with the people. Well, when the people are getting set up, run your lines and get familiar with it because I know for me personally that when I run my lines with whoever I'm working with, it's going to be different when the show's up because it's being an athlete. That's how I flip my switch. I
Right.
can rehearse and I tell people we're rehearsing, but just get ready because when it's time to when they say action,
You're into character.
the whole monster comes out.
Right.
And
Mhm.
so that preparation definitely helps. And yeah, and good communication
Yeah.
is really important. Um, I try to, depending on, I tend to stay in character. So when I'm on location, I will tell people, don't talk to me and don't come near me unless it's time to tell me I need to be somewhere or it's time to rehearse. Because if you approach me, you're going to get the character who I've now become. And I don't break it until the shoot's over because I believe that not only physically you have to play the part, but unspoken, emotionally and spiritually and energetically, and you
Right.
got to admit that. And so there's a lot of preparation I try to do prior to the shoot, and then once I'm out there, yeah, I just stay in character, and I don't um, I don't try to be rude because it's not who I am. But
Yeah.
when I'm in character, that's what I do. And so and most people, they respect that. They're like, hey, we'll give you your space. It's all good, and we will come and get you if you need to. And then I say, great, but I might not react the best because I'm still doing it, but I'm listening to you. Just
Right.
don't take if I seem off or if I'm not listening. Don't take that the wrong way.
Well, I'm glad you're telling me this, Cody, because this is input for me. So
Yeah.
whenever I hear your name and you're going to come on one of my sets, I'm gonna say first thing I need before Cody, I need a cage, right, separately from us. Put him in that cage because he will be in character, and I don't want nobody messing with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, and I don't want him killing nobody. So we're gonna have an extra cage here. Make
Yeah.
sure it's thick because we don't want Cody out of order. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for that. I'm gonna have to talk to
Oh yeah.
Denise. I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
talk to Denise after this one.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
you,
Yeah. No,
you
like
know,
well that's why with Pagan I'm gonna be doing with her. Um so Denise Pounds, everybody who's listening, is coming out with a show called Pagan. I play one of the characters in the show. And Denise is what I call a pure writer. A pure writer writes for the show, not for the liking of society.
right.
And so it's going to ruffle some feathers and it's going to be pretty impactful and potentially controversial. But that to me is pure writing when you're writing it for the reasons of the character, the story, the plot.
Yes.
And yeah, so when I got involved and started talking to Denise about it, I was so pumped, man. I was like, God, this is going to be so much. It sounds funny to say it's going to be so much fun to be that evil, but it's going to
Yeah.
be a blast.
Yeah. I mean, I know because I play a character in that as well.
Yeah.
But not a character like you. I'm more chill city kind of guy.
Mm,
I'm a sneaky kind of guy.
okay.
In this film, but it's great. But
Well, maybe
going
we'll
back
get to
to
cross paths, huh?
yeah, 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 yeah. I think we do. But uh, going back to what you said about filming and going to set and getting a line, and then going to do it when you're not prepared.
Mhm.
Um, that happened to me.
Yeah.
It happened to me with my good friend here, Nicole. I love her to
Okay.
death, and Sean Phillips. So she asked me, can you come out to to interview the stars that are going to be in this? I said, sure, I can do that. She said, just come. Can you come and interview them live on set? So I went and I did that,
Mhm.
and it was great. I met some great I met some great people that in this film, and then out of the blue, here
Yeah.
she comes with Sean with the director, and I'm standing in there. She's walking towards me. She goes, "Here's the script. Here's the
Yeah.
script, and I need
Yeah.
it for tomorrow. Can you do it?"
Right.
And I was stuck. I was like,
Right.
and I didn't want to say no to her, because
Yeah.
you know they need someone. So I was like, sure. She gave me less than 24 hours,
Yeah.
Cody, to
Yeah.
learn the lines and
Right.
come on set and shoot.
That's great though. Congratulations. That's a testament to you.
Yeah, it is. But the problem there was, you know, I got the less time to rehearsal. I
Right.
had I had
Right.
like maybe 10 hours to learn the lines and come on
Yeah.
set and shoot. Everybody
Right.
else had months, two
Yeah.
months to learn the lines,
Right.
and here I come. Boy, you only got hours.
Yeah.
But
But the great thing about that, though, Victor,
yeah,
is that's one reason why you are where you are, and you're going to go much further, because challenges are what makes or breaks actors and actresses. If it was smooth and easy, as they say, everybody would do it.
right,
Um, I've had very similar challenges to you like that, where I was thrown into things. I could have said no, but I said, I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to take it as a challenge. And it was incredibly intimidating
right,
and totally unprepared. But I did it, and I was exhausted afterwards because so much, you put so much energy into it.
right,
But it was such a great learning for me that I went, okay, I love having time to prepare,
right.
but I know I don't need it if it happens that way. And that was a giant, like a big, I've had a few big jump steps for me in this profession that really allowed me to go, hey, I'm going to make it, because this could have been the reason why I quit, or this is why I walked away. And so those challenges, man, it's about character, and you definitely have it. So that's fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you. And Cody was funny, right? Because we didn't, for being unprepared the way I was, right? And we only got it like maybe the first scene apart. We didn't take no more than two to three takes, and
Okay.
we was done. It's good. I was like, oh, okay,
Nice.
good. We went to the second scene.
Yeah.
It took like maybe two takes, and
Wow.
they were good. The third scene, I think they took like one maybe or two.
Okay.
They took three just to have a backup,
Okay.
but after the third one, it was good. So I was excited. I'm
Yeah.
happy that I made Nicole happy. Sean was
Yeah.
happy with it, because that was my biggest fear because I wasn't
Right.
ready. It
Right.
was just thrown at me, and I said, "Man, I got to memorize these lines,
Yeah.
and I got to perform. I got to get into character."
Hmm.
So I did it, and she was happy. Sean was happy, and that was it.
That's
So
great.
yeah, so that comes out this the red carpet is in Vegas
Oh, yeah.
on
Nice.
yes, on the 13th of December, and I
Okay.
believe the release of the film will be somewhere in January, if I'm not mistaken. Nicole, you can correct me. Um she's so funny. Making Nicole happy makes everyone happy. Yeah,
Nice.
she is something else, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Okay. She's an amazing person to work with.
Okay.
Like easygoing,
Hmm.
anything you need is there. Like, she walks you through things, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And
That's
that's the way.
fantastic. It's
Yeah,
nice to have that. It's
yeah,
really nice to have that. Sometimes you don't. You get to a location and a set, and yeah, I mean, you're going to be told you're going to be here or there, but a lot of it is on you, and you have to kind of really be smart about the timing. So when it's time to go, you go. And it's nice to have someone that has the patience and will walk you and communicate and tell you this is this and this is that. And it does make it, it's a really nice thing. That's was my when I did the film in Spain, Run Baby Run, that's out right now.
okay,
They were incredible. It was one of the most amazing, not only experiences shooting the film, but watching them work together as a unit was unbelievable. It was such a great experience of, and they were, and which is even more rare, they were either related or best friends. And
no,
that's really challenging for work. And it was a 2 month shoot.
oh wow.
So a lot of tensions and a lot of stuff happened. And I was just watching back and just amazed by the respect that they had for each other and the trust that they had for each other. It was a fantastic experience to have that.
So Nicole's asking, where can she look you out? Where can she see your work?
So Run Baby Run, it's right now it's on Apple and Prime.
Mhm.
It
I,
so there, here, here's the classic thing about that. There's another film with the exact same name from India,
Oh, okay.
called Run Baby Run. So if you search it, mine will be a red, white, and black poster, and it looks like a girl stretching. And the two main platforms are Apple and Prime, and I believe it's also on Vudu and Fandango.
Okay.
And
Oh,
so that's my current film that's out right now. And then my second film coming out to Prime is called Black Skin, and that's supposed to be coming out any day.
right. But I'm thinking she meant more like,
Oh, like IMDb?
yeah, she
Yeah.
IMDb.
Just search Cody Cowell, and I'll come up.
Yeah, and you have, just to name a few, Red Thread of Faith. That's one of them, correct?
What's that?
The films that you played in,
Yeah.
right? Where We Are, right? I
Yes.
believe, right? Good Guys Finish Last,
Yeah.
and Knock 'em Dead Kid, just to name a few.
Yeah.
If you want to know more, go to his IMDb, Cody Cowell, and you can find out everything you need to find out about Cody.
Yeah. That has
So
my contact information too, so it's really easy to reach out to me.
right, right. Um, she said, "Run, baby, run!" Red, white, black poster.
Correct.
Looks like a girl stretching. Yes, Nicole.
Yeah,
Voodoo,
that's the
Band,
one.
Bandigo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apple and Prime are like the two main ones.
Yep. That's it, Nicole. So, you did play at your early age. I'm bringing you back.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
Um, at your early age, you played soccer, you played
Yeah.
volleyball, a little bit of basketball. So now my question to you is: was this before you started filming?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't start acting until much later. I always wanted to act, and I
Mhm.
did try when I was in my early 20s
Right.
and failed miserably. I was not confident at all.
Right.
I just wasn't prepared. But I'm a guy that I'm a lead, I take, what do you call that? Jump off the deep end kind of guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I take chances, I take risks, and I put myself out there. That's what I've done my whole life. And so I tried it, and yeah, did not do a good job. And so I said, okay, I'm gonna get on with my life, and I am gonna come back. But again, all of that stuff that happened to me that I went through, I
Yeah.
didn't realize were really was going to be the building block of my foundation to the type of acting that I like doing. And then I believe probably late 30s to early 40s is when I really started to 100% commit. And back to what you brought up earlier, which is a really good point, and I wanted to bring this up, is that yes, I didn't take acting classes back then. I do have a class now that I go to here and there. He's a really great teacher. He's an actor that retired and now started. His name is Billy Gallo, and
Okay.
it's called the Manhattan Actors Studio in Manhattan Beach, and he's fantastic. And then the other one is Pitbull Snyder, and those are the two that when I do go, that I would jump in back to because I like both of their styles. But pre that, what I realized early on is that if you cannot afford acting classes, which is not cheap,
Yeah. I know.
I did student films, independent films, guerrilla style filming. I did everything that I could because I looked at it as it's a free acting class. I
Right.
did not expect to get paid because why would I get paid? I wasn't experienced. I didn't have anything, but I had whatever it took to get the role, and that's the start. And every time I did a film, whether it was a short, a medium, and eventually when I got into like independent features down the road, it was just amazing learning. I learned a lot about myself. My confidence grew. My range of experience of characters grew. I learned a lot from watching other people what to do and also what not to do. And so, if I was going to tell anybody anything with this business, is if you do not have money to take an acting class, get into any type of film that you believe in. That's the big thing. Like I was always very picky. If I didn't believe in the people or I didn't believe in the writing, I wouldn't do it. But I wanted to get myself out there, and so I have, I would say I have had hundreds of free acting classes because of all the shorts and everything that I did that you'll never see, never hear about, that I've never even seen. But I learned from it and I took something away from it, and then I started to, evolve and grow and move up.
Right. Such great advice. And you're right, because that's what I do. I work with certain people, and I just sharpen up on my acting skills. You know, um, by doing certain films. And I learn from them. I learn from other actors. You know, how they portray a certain character, just in case I have to play it. And I like the way they play that character. I can pick certain things from them and use it to my advantage if I have to ever play a character like that. So it's always a learning experience when you're on set, especially when um I got two of you here. Especially when oh wow, sorry, I kicked them out the studio. Jesus Christ. It's because something else popped up. Uh Geez, sorry guys. Man, give me 1 second. Let me get them back. I apologize. Uh I apologize for that. What is going on? Yeah. Oh man, here we go. Sorry guys. I got to get one of these out of here. Okay.
Hey, sorry, I don't know what happened. I got bumped off.
Yeah, I got an extra
I'm back
streaming
now.
ball. Hold on, give me a second. I got
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Sorry folks. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Sorry, I don't know how something happened, got connected off.
Yeah, yeah, okay. So, what was I saying? Oh, so that's how I learned from other actors to get my skills better. It's to watch others do, play a character and stuff like that,
Right.
and that's how I picked up. Um, so the reason I asked you that about soccer, volleyball, and baseball, why why didn't you pick up off that? Why didn't you become a professional volleyball soccer player? About you got the height to play either one. Why did you choose acting?
Okay. So what happened was, something happened. Let me get I got to reconnect my earbuds. Give me just
Okay.
1 minute, please.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Nicole. Definitely, definitely. Okay, that's a good question, Nicole. I like that. I'll definitely ask him that. And yeah, anyone that has a question, you're more than welcome to put the question up, and we can ask Cody any
Got it.
questions
Sorry
that you
about that.
may have.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Okay,
Okay. So
so what happened with the sports
okay.
was that I was the multi-sport guy. My brothers were athletes, so I kind of grew up into that background. But I had really, really severe bad injuries
Hmm.
that happened early on and progressed for about 7 to 8 years.
Mm,
And as this was happening, I would I'd get to a point like I was actually gonna be a professional kickboxer
mhm.
and I dislocated my knee 5 times.
Wow.
So that kind of pushed me off. But that was gonna I wasn't gonna say I was gonna go pro soccer, but I was pretty high up and broken knees, hips. So every time I was into sports and getting closer and closer to finally making it, and I did play pro beach volleyball for a very, very small window, I continued to get hurt. Something would happen. And when that happened, what I realized was that I would be around people that had less injuries than me and were far worse off in pain. And this is way before children, everything. But I've always wanted to have children, and I have two. And
Right.
I wanted to be I wanted to be what I call a yes dad, not a no dad. And I
Right.
knew a bunch of no dads because they were so messed up because they didn't know when to stop.
Mm,
And so I actually walked away from sports way before my prime because I wanted to not only be a yes dad, but I also wanted the quality of life as I got older. So yeah, that's why I never really did what I wanted to do as an athlete by my choice, which was very difficult. It was really hard to walk away.
right. But you got blessed with something else that you love to do. So
Correct.
so
Yeah.
it kind of worked out. I mean, I believe, Cody, that things happen for a reason.
Yeah.
Um, and maybe this was your career, not soccer, not volleyball. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe you would have broke a leg where you couldn't get back up anymore,
Correct.
or you dislocate your hip again where you couldn't
Yeah.
be able to move. You'd be on a wheelchair. So God
Right.
said, "Okay, I'm gonna bless you. I'm gonna give you something that you're gonna love, but you ain't gotta,
Yeah.
you don't really
Yeah.
have to push your knee and your hip like that."
Yeah.
And so acting, I think I got a reel here of yours that we're gonna watch in a few minutes,
Okay.
so people can see you in action. So Nicole's asking, what she says, what is Cody's upcoming goals in showbiz? What and who
Well,
is no? She said, what and who is he wanting to connect to?
that's a great question. So I went full time about a little over 2 years ago, just towards the tail end of COVID, and
Mhm.
when things were opening up. That's when I went full time, and then the strike hit
Oh boy.
and completely shattered me. And then, of course, yes, it shattered everybody, but definitely I was the one of that. I guess I would say in the category of where you are as an actor, and that took me out. So to answer your question, Nicole, is now I'm working my way back up to being full time again. So that is my number one goal is to re-achieve being full time. And I'm very close. I've got a number of things that are going to put me over to that, which I'm extremely excited about because it's been, again, another big challenge of a hit. And then when it comes to connecting, really, I love to connect with people that are like-minded, that want to make an impact with the work that they do as a whole, not just as an actor, but as a writer. It could be the lighting, the sound, the music, the directing, the grips, catering. Like I like to connect with people that bring passion to whatever they do because passion, in my opinion, is what makes a whole it makes the juicy stuff that you look forward to when you watch something because you know it's not just the acting that's doing it, it's everything that happened behind that and before that that allowed us to be the best that we can be. And so, yeah, connecting with like-minded people that really want to make a difference and bring out some really unique stories that we could bring to life and then impact people that watch them.
Right. So, I have a question here that I wanted to ask you, but if you don't want to answer it, that's fine. We can go by it. I want to ask you because to me, I find it interesting, and want to know how you overcame this experience
Okay.
because you never know who might have been in that position that you were in this case here,
Yeah.
and what was you going through, and how did you overcome it? And that is, uh, you had a death experience.
Yeah, my middle brother died,
Sorry to hear
and
that.
thank you. Yeah, he was a great guy. Um, he had he had just some demons that he couldn't. He tried, he tried, and because he couldn't um, get past them, he heavily dove into alcohol and drugs.
Mm,
and eventually that was his downfall. Um, so that was rough because he was just such a great brother and a great role model.
mhm.
Um, and it's hard when you like if someone said if I had a wish, what would it be? It
Oh,
would
I read.
be
Yeah, I
for
know.
me to take over his demons and give him none of that and let me deal with them. I would do that in a second to save his life, you know.
Amen.
Um, so it was rough because of course how close we were and we are still spiritually that way. Um, and a big part of my healing is actually acting. Acting has allowed me to release a lot into my characters and be able to let go of it in a healthy environment, in a healthy way,
Right.
and be able to fully embrace it with no bars and just full freedom and let it get out in front of the camera. And so that has been the biggest healing for me is acting, to be able to um, move through and let my frustrations out and my emotions out and allow myself to be vulnerable with my characters.
Okay. Cause all right. And I'm sorry to hear about your brother. I mean, I lost my mom and pops, and still to today.
Yeah.
It's it's a moment where when they're out your mind, you're glowy, you're laughy, but there come moments like the other day, Christmas and Thanksgiving, when things come to mind, and those are the sad moments.
Yeah.
Um, but we learn from that, and we learn how to move on and deal with things,
Hmm.
um, and and it makes us stronger and become better people. Um, so I'm going to go back a little bit because
Yeah.
um, you started acting right
Hmm.
young, but there was one point, and I think you kind of touched on this, but I just want to make sure
Yeah.
you stopped. You
Right.
stopped. It was that the reason why you stopped and you said I'm not acting, or was it because you wasn't prepared?
I stopped because I wasn't prepared, and I knew that in this business, for you to achieve it, you have to be really centered, grounded. I mean, you could definitely be messed up and still achieve it because
Yes.
there's a place for that. But me, it's all individual. I needed to be in a place where I was ready. And so when I started is when my brother died.
Mm.
That was the day that I flipped the switch and said, "Okay, that's it. I am giving everything into this job." And um yeah, because what it did, I've been surrounded by a lot of death in my life. So that by far was the hardest because being my brother. But I've seen death and I've been surrounded by death.
Right.
So that happening like that, when it's close, as you know, when anything happens close to home, it
Yes.
completely changes things.
Yes.
And that really was my big wake up call that life is too precious and that I want to achieve my goals and dreams. Um, and I would not want me to have my life ended short without me going for it and really putting it out there and giving it my all. And so that was my first really actual day, was after my brother died. That's when I really dove into it.
It's and I can agree with you 100%. Because when my parents died, before they died, I was on the streets doing what I needed to do.
Yeah,
And right after my parents got sick and stuff, my life started to change, and
right.
they didn't get to see this side of me. They passed away before they even see me in my first film.
Right.
Which I was told them, I'm going to do better. I'm going to do better. Trust me. I'm going to get out
Hmm.
this game. You ain't got to worry about me no more. I'm gonna leave it
Yeah,
alone. I didn't get to tell them that, but I know they
right.
watching and they see me, and I know that
Yeah.
they're proud of me at this point, right? Um, so so that was your peak. when your brother died, you said, "I'm gonna put 100% into this acting,"
Everything, yeah.
and through your acting, you kind of like let some of your frustrations, if that makes sense, and
Yeah,
some of
a
your
lot of
thoughts
healing.
go, and it
Yeah,
kind of brings Cody back to Cody,
yeah,
instead of you bursting out and hurting
yeah,
anybody, or start
yeah.
breaking cages and start breaking down
Yeah,
houses. But
right.
that's good therapy. I mean,
Yeah, it is.
it
It's the
you know
best thing.
right, and if it
It's
makes you happy,
yeah, it's what saved me without a doubt. And then the other, of course, two things that really pushed me was having children because
you got
I
two.
want to be, yeah, I've got my daughter's 25 and my son's 27. And oh, by hey Chandler, hey Colton. Um, and yeah, so having my kids, I wanted them to realize that dreams come true.
Yes,
I wanted to be a good role model, and I wanted to be able to make them, or not make them. I wanted them to be proud of me for achieving something that's
amen.
very difficult to achieve. And my direction in this business is very different than most people because, like, I'm still to this day, I've never had an agent get me anything. I'm
Right,
unsigned. I've done everything on my own. I get all my work. I do all my negotiations. I mean, I do everything individually.
that's
Everything
great.
was pretty much self-taught, self-learned.
Awesome.
And so in that regard, it was when I would tell them, like, hey, whatever you want to do, whatever you're passionate about, whatever you believe in, remember that there's no one direction. You might be going somewhere that you think is way off, but there's a reason for that to get
Yeah,
back to where you want to go.
amen.
And that's my story in a nutshell is I've gone every way you can go that if you talk to other people is ass backwards, but
Yeah,
that's my way because you know, I had to do everything on my own. And so I had to figure things out and get techie and learn technology to my advantage and learn how to self tape and learn about lighting and auditioning and editing and like I made my own reel and
right.
so everything is a lesson in that regard.
Right.
So
And I think that's the best way to learn is self-taught. I mean, I taught myself. I get my own gigs because I
okay,
do a lot of connections. I talk to a lot of people. And Nicole's
right,
the same way. She kind of like self-taught herself,
okay,
by being in things. So we understand how hard that is. And
yeah,
usually when you do teach yourself, it sticks to you. It sticks to you because
yeah,
you had to go through the process versus somebody
right,
saying, Cody, remember this, you have to do that. You don't
right,
you don't quite remember everything, but when you do it
right,
yourself and you constantly do it, that
yeah,
sticks with you. So I
yeah,
think that's a great way of you doing it. Because
yeah,
agencies, they really don't put in no work. I just seen a girl on my phone. She's
yeah,
an actress. She's a SAG, and she said she's gonna leave the acting because she has an agent. Agent can't get her no work.
yeah,
So she's like, "Why am I'm paying acting classes and I audition and I never get picked?"
right,
So she's letting herself down. I was gonna say, listen, there's other places besides that. There's
yeah,
indie films.
yep, yep,
All these other different films that you can audition to, and
right,
get some camera time.
right,
I felt bad for her, but it
yeah,
does happen.
yep.
So I felt bad for her. So what did your friends and family say to you when you said, guys, I'm gonna be an actor? What was their
um,
response?
so that was probably the easiest thing in a way.
Really?
Yeah. Um, my friends 100% were for it because they know me and they said you'd probably be really good at it because of just how you can play characters and just how you are.
Yeah.
Though I would say the hardest person that I had to win over was my dad.
Mm,
And that's because he, was 9 to 5 his whole life,
right.
doesn't know anything about the business. And the thing about the business is that it's people that don't understand the business kind of think they do, and I like when I first started and I'd get a job and how much to pay? I went, well, it doesn't. He goes, well, then why are you doing it? And I said, well, because this is my dedication to the craft and I have to earn that right to get paid. How far are you driving? 6 hours. Wait, you're driving 6 hours for a short film that no one's going to see. I said, exactly, because that's why I'm going to make it, my dedication.
Right.
And what happened was I started to have them audition with me. So when I was reading and doing auditioning, they were the readers. And which everybody cracks up because my mom is just such a nice person. And
Yeah.
when you see my work, you're going to realize I don't play nice guys, and I actually
Yeah.
like playing. I like being bad. It's a lot
Yeah.
of fun. And I I've had friends watch my auditions afterwards, and they go, "Oh my God, your mom, she was cussing," because she is such a nice person. My dad, of course, is like, "Ah, this is easy."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, but the cool part about it is that as we started doing things, my dad started realizing how difficult auditioning is. And also you have get the lighting right, get the background right. You have to know your lines. He started messing up his lines. We'd have to do it again, and I'd mess up, we'd do it again, blah, 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 blah. But that gave him a really, and I said, Dad, this isn't even filming. This is to get the job. And
Right.
then now there's the preparation and
Yes.
everything else that goes along with it. So it was really neat. Um, the day he told me he believed in me and that he
Wow.
knew I was going to make it, I was just like,
Boom. That's
so
an
he
extra.
was definitely the hardest. But when he did, and I didn't see it coming, I had no idea he was going to say that, and it meant the world to me because I was like, wow, I really want to make my parents proud
Right.
and to achieve something and achieve your dream, whatever that dream may be. And this mine is acting. In anybody else's, all dreams are equal. But to be able to achieve my dream while they're still alive, and to be like we watched my film Run Baby Run, and that was just I was nervous as shit because
I can imagine.
when my family watches anything I do, because they of course know me the best, that's the ultimate. If I know that I did a good job because they said it for real, and
Yeah.
I have the family that they don't bullshit, they will tell you straight up what's going on. My kids especially. Um, but man, I was nervous. But that was such an incredible day that we watched my film in our living room, and it was just such a gigantic moment for me because I was able to show them something I did, and it was fantastic.
Right. Right. So, you know, that's what I love about it. That the reading part, and then your father didn't know that you was reading it, but you also had to get into character when you read it.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
there's a lot more than what they see. You know what I mean? So
right,
that is the funny part.
yeah.
That is the funny part of this. I do want to uh show um
Oh, my reel, you said?
yeah,
Okay.
I'm trying to see if I can get to it. Hold on a second. Uh yeah, okay, folks. So this is a reel that I don't know if Cody put together, who put it together, but this is a reel of Cody and certain movies that he put together. So you guys check this out.
She's the only family I have. And so might her. Please let her stay.
The way I see it, you got three options.
I'm scared there.
One, you can surrender, and you'll get a fair trial before we hang you. We're gonna tear through your files, everything you've got. If I find anything on me, I'm gonna smash and burn Everything you ever touched. Everything you love.
There's a witch that lives out here in the woods. They say she takes rude and pregnant little children like you away and eats them.
He's a hell of a shot. Maybe even better than you.
What's going on? Crazy!
Abby. Do you hear that?
Mama let you watch that crazy shit way too young. That's why you're all fucked up in the head. I'm gonna kill you.
Nothing personal. It's the nature of the business. Get out.
Get out!
You know what she's doing there?
She's trying to hear her parents singing.
Not again, Miss Calloway.
Maybe she'll hear your daughter singing as well.
Shut the fuck up! I'll kill you!
I'll be right there. Just 1 minute.
Hello in the bank. This is Sheriff Jack Cobb. It's hang time.
Oh. Oh boy, it's hang time. You know, it's amazing to watch it because I see the different characters you play, you know, and you play them very well.
Thank
You know,
Thank you.
I think my favorite of those, even though there's a few, but I think I like the cowboy one.
Oh yeah, yeah, that
Because
was a fun one.
I love pistols. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a
And
big fan of westerns.
right, I love Western movies, and I like the other one too, where you was in the car with the guy. That was good. You looked at really
Oh, thank
scary looking.
Yeah,
You looked
yeah.
at mobbish looking biker type look.
Yeah,
That looks
yeah.
that looked good. So
thank you.
when you, because I know I've asked some actors, some do, some don't. But
Yeah.
for you, your opinion, do you like watching your films after you filmed them? And if so, why do you watch them?
Yes, I do. I only watch though when it comes out. I never watch anything on location on set,
Right.
unless there's something specifically that somebody wants me to recognize to make the scene better or to continue to do it. But yeah, I never watch my work until it comes out. That's just my choice. And then the reason why I do enjoy it is it takes a couple of times. When I first watched Run Baby Run, I did not enjoy it because I was so hypercritical of everything. And but I know that about me, so I have to watch it 2, 3 times, and then by that time I tend to fully enjoy it. I'm able to watch it without any type of criticism.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
it's like it's a learning experience. I also watch it because I remember what I did, and I'm also curious what scenes they're going to keep and what scenes they're not going to keep. And I try to pick up on mannerisms that, and that's like the first couple times when I'm not really enjoying it, is I try to pick up the couple mannerisms that I like that I did with the character and
Right.
little things that the people that we worked with on and how we played off each other. So it's a learning experience the first couple of times, and then after that, I can watch it and enjoy it for just the full cinematic experience.
Right. You know, and I like to watch them too.
Yeah.
For the same reason, because I'm my biggest critic. Right.
Right.
So when I look at a film and I see myself, I can say, man, next time I can do that better, or maybe I won't do
Mhm.
that next time. You know, and
Agreed. Yeah.
I think for me, that's it works for me to become
Yeah.
better,
Right.
to become better. And that's the reason why I like to watch other actors that are experienced like yourself.
Yeah.
If
Oh,
you're
yeah.
on set and you're doing a set and I'm there, you best believe I'm watching
Right.
because first of all, you have more experience than I do. Second of all, that character that you might be playing, I might be playing that in the future, right?
Agreed. Right.
So
Right.
I said, okay, this is the way Cody played this character. Now let me add my little socks to it,
Right.
or
Yeah.
my little twist to it,
Right.
and it helps me
Yeah.
a lot because I'm a guy. I'm more hands on than reading it,
Right. Agreed.
So
Yeah.
I see it, and bam, I will never forget it.
Right.
So it does. I agree with you 100%. I'm a hands-on guy. I love to watch them because you learn from it, and not just me. I don't look at what I do good or do wrong, but I also look at the other characters
Yeah.
that
Oh, yeah.
that are playing
Yeah.
with me to see what they do and what I wouldn't
100%.
do if I was them. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
you're sitting there, you're criticizing yourself, but you're also saying, okay, if I was that actor, I wouldn't have done that, or I would have done that different as well.
Yeah.
So you're kind of learning from
Yeah.
different characters.
Mhm.
That if you ever play in the future, you would say, okay, well, Denise played this character last time and she did this, and I don't want to
Right.
do that. Let me try this,
Yeah.
and you learn from that and you become
Yeah.
better,
Yeah. And that's what I did as an athlete is I would watch other athletes that I enjoyed and I liked what they did. And then I would take in that specific quality into myself. And like what you said earlier, I'd put my spin on it. And so when someone watches me when I was competing as an athlete, it was me being me, but it was a combination of a multiple different athletes that I enjoyed watching that they did that I liked, but I made it my own.
right?
And acting is definitely the same way. Is I watch people, I study people because I can't turn that off. Wherever I go anywhere, I'm studying everybody. And I figure out what I like, what people do, and then other things that I might not like. And it doesn't mean that I'm right about it. It just doesn't jive with me.
Right.
Cool. I'll move on and continue. But I listen to a lot of people when they talk because you learn a lot. I learned a lot. One of the best things that when I did this show way, way back, and I met a guy who was one of the lead actors, and we clicked off from the start.
Mm.
And he's like, "Hey, so what are you doing today?" And I said, "Oh, I'm background because that's how I really started. I did background work." And he goes, "Oh, I didn't know. I thought you were one of the actors." I was like, "Wow, thank you. I appreciate what. It's a great compliment."
Yeah.
And he said, "It's really important to know how people see you in this business
Yes.
because it'll help you go for not just the characters but the roles better." And he said, like himself, he goes, "I am a character actor. I might occasionally get offered a lead, but probably won't. And I'm cool with that because I love character acting. I'm always going to be like strong supporting and this, and that." And he goes, "So as get yourself immersed, and if you decide to take this to another level, it's really important to understand how people see you. And that doesn't mean to limit to only go for that specific kind of role. You always
Right.
stay open, but know that if you know how people see you, that is your presence and that's your intention when you're meeting people and going to an audition or having a meeting." And he said that will really elevate you to that point. So it was a great. This guy was fantastic, and I only met him for that day. I never saw him again. But his words stuck with me to this day.
Well, maybe that's why I don't get no roles. They'd be like, "You look like a gangster." So that's the people don't want. They just be like, we don't
It's
got that
it's
gangster look. We can't get him on the road with these good guys.
yeah. Well, and so here's the
That's
classic
what.
thing
Jesus,
about that.
right?
So when I first, of course, got into acting, it was you had your 8x10.
Right.
Okay. Not
Mhm.
now it's all now it's all digital. Well, I realized from after talking to that guy, people are very visual. And if I'm clean shaven and my hair, let's say I had, long hair now, but I'm going in and I have no problem cutting my hair and changing things. I'm always looking for a role that I get to change my look on. I'm always looking for that role. But people see me like this. If I'm going for some homeless crackhead, they like, no, you don't look like a homeless crackhead. So what
Right.
I did and what I do now is back then I had my 8x10 on the front, and on the back I had a quad fold, and I had quarter pictures on the back that I would open up and show them the different looks that I could play.
Wow.
And I couldn't tell you how many times I went in with my 8x10 and they're like, no. I said, okay, hold on, turn it over, flip it open. I go, what about these? And they go, that one. How
Right.
long does that take?
Right. Like a
So
portfolio, kind of like a
yeah,
portfolio, right?
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like right now, when I connect with somebody, I have 8 pictures that I send them, and the
Right.
pics are different. But
Right.
those pics give people the visual that they need to see, so they can see where I look now. If I'm looking for, or if I have a full beard and I'm all like, I went for this one role one time, and I even told the guy, I said, look, I'm going to come in. I grew my beard out for months for this role, and I was grungy,
Yeah.
unkept, and everything, right?
Yeah.
And I said, I'm going to bring in a picture of how I look clean, but I'm telling you ahead of time, I'm not going to walk in, that door. I showed up, and I could just tell his face dropped when he saw me, and I went, okay, this is what I look like clean, and he goes, nope, it just couldn't get past it. But I left. I was bummed because it would have been a fun role, but I
Right.
left like, okay, well, the best part about it is that when I can change my look up, it's very hard for people to see me outside of that, you know.
Yes.
But
Yes.
that's also why I just learned, for me personally, that my look does change if I have short hair to long hair, a beard, a
Yes,
mustache.
it
If
does.
I gain weight, lose weight, it's hard for people to see me outside of it. But those
Right.
pics are what opened up doors for me to get different roles because they could visually see it. Even if
Yeah.
it's hard for them to make it, they're like, okay, I know that's you, even though I can't see it, but that's how you look. So, but that's how I started, and that's actually what got me a fair amount of work, was bringing multiple pictures so they
Right.
could see me outside of me walking in.
Right. And that's kind of why reels are done. And I
Oh, huge.
agree.
Yeah, yeah,
I want to do the same. Is do a portfolio of pictures of me
yep,
dressed different, like
yeah,
as a biker, as a like maybe a mobster, with maybe
yep,
the Ferretta with some sunglasses, a
right,
cigar,
yeah,
regular gym guy, a dad, kind of like a casual dress, so
right,
that I can't grow no hair, so
yeah.
that's one
Well, the
look
good thing is
they're always gonna
wigs,
have.
right?
Throw a wig on,
Wigs, yeah,
yeah, but
yeah,
this look, so that's a great idea, because I've always said, when I give my stuff together, because I do so much that I'm
yeah.
doing everything at a time. So a portfolio is very important, a
Yes,
portfolio, so
it
that
is.
you
Very
don't have
visual.
to, when you send your picture in, they got varieties of what
Oh
you
yeah,
can look like and say, well, this is him, but we're looking for this person, like this
right,
type of character. Now they open
yeah,
the portfolio, say, that's it. That's the look that we want.
right,
Now bring him in to see if he can do the lines.
yeah, correct. Yeah,
So you're right. It gives you more choice of
yeah.
getting picked for a role than someone that just shows a before and
Fake
after
pics.
shot,
Right. Yeah.
versus
Because
now here Cody
people are
got,
very visual. Yeah, people are
yes,
very visual in this business, and that's why also my reel, like, and I did my reel, like I edited it and color corrected it and sounded all that stuff, and that's why I did my reel the order and the way that I did it, is I wanted people never to know what was going to happen next, and that's a big part of and that's the kind of acting that I like, and the variety of acting that I like of characters. And that's where, like, when you have a portfolio or you make a reel, that's why it's so important to showcase what your best talents are. And my best talents are range, physically and emotionally and mentally. And so that's a big part of it, is that when people put something together, you really need to know what they're looking for to an extent, even if they don't know what they're looking for. And that goes by your range. But also, I know men and women who, long hair, short hair, of course, not with women, but beard, mustache, da 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 da. You can tell it's them. Like, there's no change. So the question to them is, for this character, do you want him to have a beard or a mustache or scruffy or clean?
Right.
And
Right.
there are people like that where their faces don't change. Some women, long hair, short hair, color of their dress, whatever, it's them 100%. But again, for myself, I changed drastically. And that's what I realized, that I need to show people that I can change it up. The only thing I can't change up is my voice is my voice. It's I can't
Yeah.
really can't mix that up a lot. But
Can't miss
other than
that.
my I could lose weight, I could gain weight.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Yeah, if you ever need help, man, I could definitely help you with your reel
Yeah.
or portfolio,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I'm happy to do it.
Yeah, definitely. This is what this is why we connect, so that we can work
Yeah.
together, and if
Yeah.
I can better you in something, you can better me in something. We work as a team, and we help
Yeah.
each other grow, go to the next level. That's why I love
Agreed.
what I do.
Yeah.
You're also The Agency. Tell me about the movie The Agency. Are you in that film, The Agency?
I don't. That doesn't sound.
I saw it on your IMDb. Maybe that wasn't you. Maybe that was something else. But you was on When Are We Right? Right? You was in that trailer.
So that film was one of my older films,
Yeah.
and yeah, that was a fun one. The character was
Because I want to play the trailer. I just want to make sure that you're on the trailer.
Yeah, I think that one is. I'm probably not going to be in that one that much. That was a smaller role,
Right.
but yeah,
I
that
mean,
was.
we can play it if you want. Let me just play it.
Yeah, go for it. That brings back memories.
Yeah, right. This one, okay, I got the original trailer where the one with, I think that's you. I can't tell because you look different. Did you play a medic, like in a fire, like
Yes.
ambulance?
That's when I had short hair and a beard.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Well, that's the one I'm gonna play because.
Okay, yeah. So I'm in that.
Okay.
I'm in that a little bit. There, you'll see something. Yes.
Your voice sounds familiar. We don't know that.
No.
Who knows? Maybe
There you go.
Yep.
Did you tell anyone your story?
Not even my daughter.
Adam, how come you're answering Michael's phone?
And when we're right, we should not forsake.
Big fan of this guy. Watching him for years.
We should rise up.
Good actor. Really good actor.
Again and again and again.
Thank you, Michael.
What up? That's great. So what?
Yeah,
Tell me what. So you play what character here?
Okay, so I played basically like the head medic at a paramedic unit, and this movie this is one of those lessons about whatever you do, whether you see it or not see it, you show up, you do your best, you learn from it, and you move on. Okay. Really good movie. It turned out that when she went to go to the screening, before she got there, someone broke into her car and stole everything.
No.
Stole the movie. She eventually found a backup, and it came out. It was on Prime for a little bit. It's a short film, but the quality of this, whatever backup she found, the sound quality was really, really messed up. So the only saving grace to it was that subtitles, and it's a really, really great story. I didn't even really quite get it until I was able to do the subtitles, and then I was able to hear everything and get the full picture. But it's about past life, And yeah, just a very touching story. It was a fun role to play, and that's part of it. Like I said, with short hair and a beard, and it was, it's one of my earlier nice guy roles that I rarely get to do. But yeah, it was a really good experience. But again, the big part about this business sometimes is that it doesn't always work out that you're going to see it or it'll ever come out.
Right.
But if you show up and do your best, that's a win. And if it does, and that's why like earlier when we're talking about student films, short
Yeah.
films, independence,
Yeah.
you do it for the learning experience, but also you do it because if you get it back and there's some quality stuff, you get it for a reel.
Yes,
And
right.
your reel is what's going to get you hired. Outside of the audition and all that stuff, they're going to see your reel, and that's going to upgrade you to that next level, because rather than them seeing a pic of you, they get to watch you work. So that's where doing work is just really, whether it pays or not, is if you get an IMDb credit and or footage for your reel, golden. I mean, that's really what I was shooting for.
Yeah.
All my earlier times was like, will I be getting an IMDb credit? But of
Yeah.
course, I didn't ask that till once I got hired. I never asked that question until you're
Right.
because it doesn't matter. Like they can say, oh yeah, you get paid 10 grand. Well, if you don't get the job, 10 grand isn't anything. Like you need to
Right.
get the job to get paid. You need to get the job to get your credit. So once I got hired and I got to know, I was like, hey, just curious, like, is this going to be put up on IMDb? Because that does add to your credibility, and people will IMDb you. And if they see that you've got some credits on there, and or you could put your reel up there, that's golden. So that was really my starting phases when I first got into it was, and if they said no, I still did it because I wanted to do it. That was just the bonus.
Right. Okay. Now I'm gonna ask you this: what top 3 actors would you love to play a role with?
Oh, okay. I'm gonna do my best, but the one thing that I do not do a lot of
Yeah.
is I'm the guy that would say, "Oh, you know the actor in this movie that played that role?"
Yeah.
I don't know a ton of names of actors I really like, and
Right.
it just is what it is. I
Right.
love the business. I don't devote
Right.
myself to knowing everything about it. But okay, so all right, if I could play, if I could be in projects, um, wow. Okay. Well, the first one that comes to mind, I would say present. There's people like back in the day, right? Like,
Right.
okay, I would love to back in the day, I would have loved to be with the Three Stooges. I think
Ooh.
those guys would be great,
Yeah.
I would have loved to be with Abbott and Costello.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know,
Oh God.
so like
Jerry
that's,
Lewis. Jerry
yeah,
Lewis.
yeah, Jerry Lewis. Like there's a lot of older,
Older ones.
but
Yeah.
if we're talking, present day, like
Present
okay,
day.
even then, like Rutger Hauer, Powers Booth, those were two of my actors that I love watching.
Right.
But present day, if I was going to do movies now, I would say the first guy that comes to mind would be Gerard Butler.
Okay.
I feel that he has chosen his roles extremely well, and not all of his roles have been well liked, which I dig, by the way,
Mhm.
because he chose them for the role, not to be liked, and that's what I
Right.
like. So that would be the first one. And I wish there's some actresses that I really like, but I'm not even gonna try to go there because I just don't know their names, but they are badass, and I would so like to work with them. Um, man. Oh, well, okay, the late Ray Stevens, he would have been, that was the guy that did the remake. Um, Ray Stevens. He did the remake of The Punisher.
Oh, the pun. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the
I
the
like
good remake, the good
yeah,
one. Yeah, Ray
the blonde
Stevenson.
guy, right? With the good with the short hair.
Yes,
That
yeah,
Punisher, right?
brunette.
When he pushed
Some
back with the
big white
pushback.
dude. Yeah,
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 yeah, he's
yeah.
awesome.
Ray Stevenson. He's a really. I really like his also. He didn't do a lot of roles. Some people like some. He did some indie stuff that people like. Really, I'm like, no, that's a badass role. It's totally quirky. It's unique, and it shows his range. So, really liked him. Um, yeah, I would definitely like to tell you more, but I can tell you the movies and the characters, but the names are like poof.
Right.
So
But you know, the funny part about this conversation that we're having is that, you know, when I was younger, I used to watch these characters,
Yeah.
Of these people that I played in this last film.
Okay.
You know, Tom Arnold was a great guy. I watched him when
Oh,
I was little.
right.
Bei Ling, she did the movie The Crow, that which I grew up watching
Okay.
and saw her there. I said, man, she's so beautiful, man. One day I would
Yeah.
love to work with her, right? Robert Lazaro, I've been following him since he started doing his jail movies, you
Okay.
know, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Eric
And
Roberts.
she, by the way, she was really good in The Crow.
Yes. So, and Eric Roberts, I've been watching him since I was,
Yep.
and his sister, I've been
Yeah.
watching them since I was little. So when Nicole brought me into this project,
Yeah.
and she said, well, you know, we got this person. I was like, what? My mouth dropped, right? I was like, are you serious?
Yeah.
She was like,
Right.
yeah. So off the airport, she picks me up with her bag falling all over the place, right? Because
Yeah.
she stopped the car. She opened for me to put my bag, and everything she had in there just fell on me, right? But we got everything in there, and we
Yeah.
go on set. When I get to set, the first person that I bump into is Tom Arnold.
No way.
Yes.
Wow.
Great guy.
Yeah.
He don't even have to talk. He just got that funny look, like,
Yeah.
you know, you just laugh. And
Yeah.
he was there, and we spoke briefly, him and I.
Okay.
And he was so cool to let me take a picture with him. And I
Yeah.
did post it on my line, because, you know, it's a person that I admired when I was little.
Right.
You know,
Right.
with his comedians and his movies, you know, especially when, you know, DMX was still alive. He did a movie with DMX,
Yeah.
and Steven Seagal, when he, you know, he was
Yep.
funny. So
Yeah, I remember that one. That was a good movie.
right. So to be able to be in that circle with all these amazing actors that I grew up watching
Yeah.
meant the world to me. I said, you know what?
Yeah.
There's nothing I cannot accomplish, and what is there for me to accomplish now when I'm with the best of the best?
Right.
You know?
Right.
So it was a great feeling, and that just inspired me more to
Right.
push higher, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And now I'm at the point where I'm not just an actor. I'm not a big actor. I'm only probably done like 5 films, but
Hey, that's good though.
yeah.
It's
Now
work is work.
I'm stepping up to becoming a co-director on
Oh,
a film
nice.
that I'm creating with Denise. She's
Okay.
helping me put a film together. So
Oh, right on.
I'm gonna co-direct that film. So
Okay.
you know, I want to have that experience. You know,
Yeah.
um,
Well, I'm sure everything that you've done for your show has given you amazing experience, and that's the foundation that is what's going to help you get to that next level. Because when you start from the ground and you go up, you learn everything that's going on, and
Right.
you can fix what needs to get fixed, and you understand what happened. You can direct people in the right way, and
Right.
build your team up. And so I'm sure all your experience that you've had doing what you do is going to be essential.
Right. You know, and the fact that I'm always in front of the camera, so I'm not camera
Yeah.
shy. You know,
Right.
the camera hit me. It's like I don't see cameras, right? So,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
just be me. So that's a good thing.
Right.
You know, and I deal with cameras, so I know angles. I look for angles, what certain shot I want on a certain scene. You know,
Right.
so and I'm very creative. So,
Yeah.
like that film that you did when you played a Western guy, right?
Mhm.
Say for an example, there was a scene where you was inside the bar, and there was guys that were outside shooting at you, right?
Mhm.
And the script said, okay, Cody, you're gonna go out, you're gonna push the door open, and you're gonna start shooting, right?
Mhm.
I might say, well, wait a minute. How about we have Cody jump through the window and shoot
Right.
while he's in the air?
Right.
You know, that'll look more of a realistic thing as well. You know,
Yeah.
and it'll look more hit, you know,
Yeah.
more exciting that you
Yeah.
just broke through the window and you just in the air, bam, bam,
Yeah.
bam, bam, and maybe you hit 1 or 2. You
Right.
know,
Right.
so that's what I look at when I'm on set. If I was a director, I look at different angles on what can look more realistic and more of a bang look. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Instead of having
Right.
you 6'2" walking out the door. No, let's have them break through the window
Yeah.
You know, and,
Yeah.
and I think that'll be a better look. So that's the type of guy that I am when I'm on set. So
Right.
so my script, it might change every other scene because I might get there and say I want this look, but then I get there and I see something different.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? You see something
Yeah, I
different.
do.
Wait a minute.
Totally get
Let's
that.
right. Let's try it like this and see how that looks.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
because
I get it. What has happened on a number of projects is I show up ready, have everything memorized, do the rehearsals. And sometimes there are no rehearsals. You just get right on and they're like, all right, we're going to be shooting. And you do it. And the people that are behind the camera, whether it's the writer, the director, or the AD, they now see it for the first time and get inspired. And they go, hey, we want to add some lines and we're going to change it up. And
yes,
so that is part of the challenge and part of the fun is
yes,
that knowing you're there and you're fully prepared and realizing that you have to be open and to change and be able to get it quickly and then continue to move forward. So yeah, I get that because when you see it for real, your mind starts going, your visuals, and all of a sudden you get new ideas. And
yes.
we're here, let's change it. Let's throw this in there. And it is part of the fun about not knowing kind of what's going to happen every time you do a scene. You're
Yes.
like, I'm going to knock it out, but I got to be open to something happening that I don't expect.
Right. And that's and that's the beauty of the film I did with Nicole and Sean, that I did a scene and he was so cool to say, well, if you got anything else you want to add to this
Oh,
that
that's nice.
falls with what we're doing, go right
Yeah.
ahead. So that
Yeah.
those were the second takes that I told you we took, was
Right.
because he let us freestyle after we did our lines. He let us freestyle something into it,
Yeah.
make it more authentic to us,
Right.
and that's what we took. And it worked, And I
Yeah.
like working with directors like that
Yeah.
because it's going to make me a better director when I direct my movie or
Right.
co-direct my film. Is to say, hey, okay, you have anything that you might want to add? Let me hear what you got to say, and I hear you
Yeah.
out. If I feel
Right.
that it's a go, I say, okay, let's film this. Let's take a second take and film it the way Cody said. Let's see how that looks.
Right.
Because I want people not just to come and act, but if you got a
Right.
great idea,
Yeah.
that might work, that's better than what I have, then why not?
Yeah. No, and that's really it's a good point. The other,
Mhm.
it's nice to like. I remember one of the first times that I auditioned for a film, and I got cast like on the spot, which rarely happens.
Right.
Usually, hey, thanks for coming in, and we'll get back in touch with you. They go, all right, you're cast. I went, oh, yeah, that's fucking great. And they said, but, and I was like, ah, shit, what's the but? They go,
The butts always
we
in.
have a bunch of actresses coming in and we want to see their chemistry. Would you mind reading with them? Because we want to see how you play off. And I was like, I had never been able to, or never got the opportunity to see what it's like being on the other side. And I was like,
Right.
oh, hell yeah. And that was such an incredible experience because they didn't tell the actresses that I was cast. They just thought I was a reader and they wanted to see how they would react to me. But knowing that I was cast, that I got the job, it was just such a different appreciation. Like, wow, so this is what the other side is like.
Right. Right.
And so being able to be in front of the camera and then going behind the camera is helpful because you understand what it takes to act and the
Right.
pressures behind that.
Yes.
And also, which is I feel is really a great quality, and then that would build a great team, is being able, like, offering, hey, if you have an idea, please let me know.
Yeah.
That's so amazing because that's something, and I'm not saying every actor wants to hear,
Right.
but I know there are times where we do have ideas that might not be better, but it could be a twist that might
Yeah.
be something to throw in, just something to mix things up.
Right.
And to be able to have that freedom to say, hey, Vic, I've got an idea, and you go, hey, tell me about it.
Yeah.
That's really neat.
Right. Because I want to make my actors comfortable, but I want them to also know that their opinion also counts. So, but if it's something we can use, and I go over my director and say, well, listen, Cody has an idea. This is what he said. What do you think we shoot in and see what it looks like? And say, okay, let's try it. All right, we're gonna take a second take, and Cody, we're gonna do what you said you wanted to add at the end of that, make it happen. And then we'll look at it. Then we'll go back and see the original one and the one you added to, and let's say, you know what, I like that. Let's keep that one.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep that. On to the next scene. So that way we have things to look at when we go back to editing, and say, okay, well, now we don't got the same. Cody's not doing the same take over. We got different types of takes that he did. Let's pick the best one.
Yeah.
And that's how I'm going to direct my film. And I want my actors to be comfortable, be themselves, and if they got good ideas, or feel like if they feel that they part is short and they got something to add to it that has something to do with what we're talking about or the scene, then why not? I mean, let's see it. Bring the character out. You got more to add to it? Let's see. I want to see it. And give them that opportunity, because after this film is done, I want people to say, man, Victor was a great director, or co-director. I mean, he's so smooth to work with. He worries about other people's opinion. He brings it in. He works with the team. Because I look at it as a team. Some directors, you go on set and they don't even talk to the actors. They only talk to the PD, to the writer. If the writer's there, the producer, and the director only talk. They don't want to talk to nobody else.
Yeah.
And it's what they say, and that's it. I don't want to be that director, because I don't want my actors to feel nervous, and take them out of character because they see my character, or he ain't playing, he might say something. No.
Right.
Be yourself.
Yeah.
Do your job. And if I don't like it, I'm going to take another take and we'll do it over.
Yeah. And that's part of it too. Sometimes it takes a couple takes to find it where you both are, whoever you're dealing with, are on the same sync, and then magic happens. So that's kind of part of the fun, is that, like, the one of the unique experiences that I did when I was in Spain is, so we had Tony is the director, Eric is the AD, and Umberto was the DOP, the director of photography. So as I was getting to know them, hey, cool, we're doing, one scene today, and normally if you're like one scene, you're like, oh, this will be kind of a quick day. Well, what turns out to be one scene is that Tony does it his way. When he's done with however many takes he wants to do it in angles, it's now Eric's turn. And now Eric wants to do it with all these angles. And when he's done, it's Umberto's turn, And so every time we shot, we had 3 different visuals and 3 different views every single time. And I had never done that before. But it was exhausting, because it was such a physical and emotional role. But it was great, because it, like, watching them, and they were so into it. Like, I want to get this angle, and then we're going to capture that. And, you feed off that energy. But I've never experienced where 3 people got their choices every single time. It just, and that's because they said, we know we all have great ideas. And when we're done with this film, we will pick the best scene, which we feel as a team is the best one out of our 3 for every single take, So that was a crazy experience to hear. Like, it was amazing.
But it's good, because you get angles that you don't know are there. So my thing is, when I shoot mines, I'm gonna bring my own cameras, because I got cameras here, my Lumix cameras. They're not like red magic, but they're good enough to film, because I've done videos, and it's clear 4K. So while my director's shooting, I'm gonna be one angle, I'm gonna be shooting another angle. While the directors are shooting, because I it's crazy. Like, my mind, I think out the box. I think out the box. So he's taking this shot of you, I'm over here taking a different shot. So that when we do the editing, we say, okay, well, we're gonna have to slide this in and make it look like one piece. And to give it more of a oof kind of look, to the scene. And because I've been to music videos because I used to do music.
Okay.
I know how the drones work and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and the drone looks for certain angles. Even the guy doing the video looking for certain angle while the other one is shooting the video. The other
Right.
guy is getting angles that he can't get because his camera's on you.
Right.
So I've seen how they finesse that, and it looks so dope. Even
Yeah.
kind of like a 3D type of thing.
Right.
Um,
Well, and the bonus to that too, and this is just because when I watch things, um, I'm really big about continuity, and I've seen scenes where clearly they shot one at a time, and it's just one of my, what do you call it, piccadillies, is that it could be that my necklace was like that one
yeah,
scene, and then the
yeah,
same shot, it's now here.
right.
And I was like, oh, necklace. They didn't continuity, you know? So
Yeah,
the
yeah,
best part about your style, especially if people are doing stuff, is the continuity will be on par. And
exactly.
that's a bonus, man, because
Yes,
there have been times where people are like taking pictures of me of every angle possible because when they change the camera angle, I have to have, I mean, it could be my hair, whatever, has
right.
to be exactly how it was on those shots. So like, don't move. And I was like, ah, and they're tick, 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 you know, and then they do the camera, do the lighting, and they go, okay, come and they're adjusting me and getting everything set and ready so I could do it from that point. So I'm all for more of your style. I feel having multiple cameras on
Yes,
one is
yeah.
fantastic because you capture more natural things that you
Mhm.
don't have to now remember to do again.
Exactly. So I want to do it so I can capture everything I need to capture in that
Yeah,
one shot.
yeah,
Maybe
that's great.
maybe I don't have it in the main camera, but I
Right.
got it in my small camera. So
Yeah, yeah,
I can send you that through a SUB, put it on your
yeah,
sit, and put all the scenes together, and then
yeah.
we put it together. And man, you'd be surprised of the things that you can do with two cameras
Oh, big time.
running at the same time. You get footage that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Um, but so okay, so what inspiring message can you give to anyone that wants to come into the industry and become an actor? What inspiring message can you give them?
That's a good question. Inspiring. I would say stay open to a time frame to give yourself to get to whatever level that you want to get to because it's a very challenging business if you have a timeline. Um, so stay open, stay true to your integrity. It's really important to whatever you choose to do, believe in it with all your heart, like 100% full heartfelt. This is what I want to do, even if it's not easy for you, but you believe in it because it's going to show. It's going to show when you do your work. You know,
Right.
keeping your integrity, um, and I would say enjoy every little thing that happens along the way because
Amen.
those are all the most amazing things that you'll probably look back on
Mhm.
and give you that much more appreciation when you start achieving your goals and eventually achieve your dream.
Amen. Amen to that. So, any you want to give any shout outs before we tap out? Any shout outs to your family, friends, whoever you want to shout out,
Yeah.
and
Hey,
tell them where they can find you.
yes. So you can definitely find this video on the Don Vick Show. That's Facebook and YouTube, I take
Mhm.
it, correct?
Yes, correct.
Um, and I really appreciate, you having me on the show. This has been a
It's an honor.
blast.
It's an
Yeah,
honor.
I really, and I look forward to working with you, man. It's going to be a good time. I know we're gonna rip it up.
Okay, it's gonna be like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito.
Twins too. There
Twins
you
too.
go.
I'm a feed with the giant. Okay, I'll be the Daddy DeVito.
No,
See,
it'll be reversed though. I'll be DeVito and you'll be the giant.
oh,
They'll mix it. It'll be opposite.
oh
That'll
my
be the
God,
fun part. That'll
I
be
might
the
have to
fun
get.
part.
I'm gonna get some stealth to get on my feet. But see, this is what it's all about, folks. You know, I love to make my hosts happy and
Yeah,
comfortable.
having a good time.
But yeah, it's about having a good time and also
Yeah,
expressing yourself and telling your story and what you do. Because
yeah. Thank you.
you know,
I appreciate that.
yeah,
And
it's all
I
about
want to thank everybody for tuning in. I
yeah.
appreciate you
Mhm.
showing the support to Victor and
Thank you.
watching the Don Vic show. It's only going to get better. And thanks a
Always.
lot. Again, if you have any questions or you ever want to reach out, you can go to my IMDb Pro page, and my contact information is still on there. And I've always given people the opportunity that if they have any questions or stories or anything, you can give me a call or text me or email me, and I'm happy to have a chat.
Fabulous. Well, I want to thank you for coming on. You've been great. I'm going to bring you back on the show, and later on in the future,
I
when you get
appreciate it.
some more work done, so we can
Yeah,
talk about that. And anytime you want to come on my show, you got something to promote, you want to talk about anything. You don't have to be film or something that you feel
yeah,
that might inspire someone, or a dark story that you had and you overcame it and you beat it. This is what the show's all about.
I
Bad
appreciate that.
stories, good endings.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Victor. I appreciate it.
All right. You have a good night, man. Thank
You
you
too,
so
Victor.
much.
All right.
Ciao. Bye. So, folks, that is Cody Cowell, actor from LA. Great guy. This is what it's all about, folks. It's about putting your best foot forward, believing your goals, and don't let nobody come in between your dream and your goals, because what you got to remember is your dream and your goal, and it's your job to push forward. Nobody else's. It's your job to push forward, right? Because it's your dream, and ain't nobody gonna push harder than you. So, with that being said, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and giving my guests this great support. Big shout out to everyone that is tuning in, everybody around the world that watches the show. Remember to share, shake, and sharing is caring. And you already know I'll let y'all go with peace, love, respect, and I'm out of here. Peace.